Hey guys, StandardVR back with something a little bit different today. Today we are going to be ranking the current Mega Evolutions for the Season 2 ranked ladder of Legends ZA. Now the game's been out for a while. A lot of you guys have been absolutely killing it in ranked and on online tournaments. Been trying my best. But guys, if you enjoy the Legends ZA content, drop a sub. If you want to see more tier lists, let me know. We can do Pokemon typings. That could be a fun one. But you let me know what you want to see. Right now, I'm interested in what is going on in Season 2. Obviously, the introduction of Yveltal and Xerneas shakes up the meta so much. A lot of these mons become really good. A lot of these mons become really bad. The way I like to play ranked is I like to just have a bulky screen setter and then like 2 just super offensive mons. I really just like double megas. So we're going to go through the megas. Obviously, there's a lot of really good just standard Pokemon that are absolutely cracked and ranked. Like Glaceon is ridiculous except for all the steel types. But that being said, that's why you pair it with a Charizard. You know what I mean? So a lot of things stay the same. A lot of things change between Season 1 and Season 2. So let's get into these megas. Let's rank them a little bit. Let's have some fun talking about this. This is all my opinion. I am also very partial to just really cool designs. So if you want to disagree with me, do it in the comments. Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know where I missed. Let me know where I absolutely hit it out of the park. And let's get into it. So first up, we have Mega Venusaur. So Venusaur, when it megas, it used to get thick fat, which would, you know, kind of get rid of, not get rid of, but like fire type doesn't do as much. Ice types don't do as much. It's decent, right? So Mega Venusaur, I think, is good, and I think it will have a little bit more viability going into Season 2 just because that poison typing into Xerneas. I'm going to throw it in the B tier because I do think that it doesn't quite have the offensive pressure into Xerneas, especially since Xerneas has a lot of setup with Calm Mind and all that kind of stuff to boost its special defense. Not to mention, you know, Geomancy. And then also Yveltal possibly being in. Oblivion Wing can kind of cook this. That being said, you could also just run a regular Venusaur with like an Assault Vest. Might be really good. So I think that's a solid B tier mon. Then we get into, obviously, the Charizards. We got the Dragonzard. I'm actually, you know what? This might be a little bit of a hot take. I think this is an A tier mon. I think it's okay. Xerneas is neutral. Moonblast is neutral. Since fire does resist fairy, it's good. It's very strong. Swords Dance, Flare Blitz does a lot of damage. Anything that has access to those 120 base power moves, it's kind of a delete button. You throw Dragon Rush on this thing. You can check Garchomps to an extent. Obviously, you have to be careful about when you Mega Evolve because you don't want to eat an Earthquake because you do lose that. That being said, we got the other Zard. We got the Fire Flying El Clasico Zard. This thing is absolutely cracked because obviously it can't get hit by EQ, so it is one of the best fire types in the game because Garchomp still around, Metagross still around, Excadrill still around. Obviously Zard doesn't really care that much about Excadrill. Rock Slide, you do have to watch out for Rock Slide. Rock Slide and Stone Edge will absolutely cook a Zard. That being said, screens, maybe you throw a little bit of bulk to live some of those non-stab rock moves. It could be good. Obviously, the Dragonzard, it's a Dragonzord, Power Rangers, you know? It does eat those Stone Edges a little bit better, so I think you will see a little bit more of the Dragonzard, but I am partial to this guy up here. I think if you want a Fire Flying type, keep it a Fire Flying type, let it come in and just cook things, go down, and then reposition, essentially. Then we got my boy. One of my favorite starters of all time, Squirtle. So you know Mega Blastoise. I absolutely love. Water coverage, always good. I do think this guy is just B tier. It's got a lot of good coverage options. An Ice Beam, you got Surfs, you got Hydros. Hydro just nukes something from downtown. It's so much fun to use. I haven't gotten a chance to use it yet. Definitely on my list. Mega Blastoise. Good offensive mon, has a lot of bulk to live a lot of things. There's also a lot of electric coverage in the meta right now because you're checking things like Gyarados, you're checking things like Charizard. So it gets a little bit dicey to use, But I think Mega Blastoise definitely has a spot in this meta, and I am excited to use it. Mega Beedrill. I love Mega Beedrill. I'm gonna be honest, I love Mega Beedrill. Poison typing, good into Xerneas. Bug typing, bad into Yveltal. A lot of Zards laying around. A lot of Steel types. I know it gets Drill Run, but this thing also dies to, you know, a piece of paper. So it's got to be D tier. It's just too frail. I wish it was better. The speed doesn't really help it in this game, so it just kind of loses a lot of viability. Mega Beedrill, one of my favorites, but it's D tier. Mega Pidgeot, I think same thing. Too much electric coverage going around. I do think like Screens, AoE, Hurricane, Heat Wave stuff is good, but I think the loss of abilities definitely hurts Mega Pidgeot. But I still enjoy it. That being said, I think all of these things are viable and can be used if you build the right team around it, but these are just a lot harder to use. Obviously, we don't know about the Mega Raichus yet. We're going to move on to Mega Clefable, who I think is an S tier mon. Mega Clefable, so when it Mega Evolves, since it's a new one, let's run this down. It gains a flying type, which means that now you don't get hit by earthquakes, which is absolutely ridiculous. It gets a 10-point boost to attack, which isn't super relevant, a 20-point boost to defense, and a 20-point boost to special defense. So this thing gets even bulkier than it already was. Gets a lot harder to take down. It gets a 10-point boost to speed, which isn't super relevant in this game, and then it gets a 40-point boost to special attack. This thing gets bulkier and stronger at the same time. This is absolutely ridiculous. With the coverage that this thing gets, if you don't want to run Mega, which I know we're talking about the Mega right now, but you could run like Expert Belt Clef with like that Bolt Beam coverage is so good. But with like the special attack boost, you don't need the Expert Belt now. This is basically like a free Expert Belt plus an Earthquake dodge in Mega Evolution. This is so good for Clefable, and I think it's really good going into this meta, except for the fact that everybody's running Steel types because, you know, you got Xerneas. It's a little bit hard to say you should take this thing over Xerneas, but if you don't vibe with Xerneas, I think Clefable is a decent option here. So, moving on, we have Mega Alakazam. I wish this thing was better. Like, I really do. The special attack is absolutely ridiculous, but it just kind of goes down to everything. I tried using screens on it. Obviously, it's not bulky enough to do that, so I do not recommend screens Alakazam. But Yveltal obviously pops this thing. I think Xerneas even kind of just comes in and says no. Wish it was better, but it's not. I think that's D tier. Mega Victory Bell. Let's run down these stats. Because before we talk about Mega Victory Bell, it gets a 20-point boost to attack, a 20-point boost to defense, a 25-point boost to special defense. If I'm reading that right. Yeah, math, you know it's hard, and a 35-point boost to special attack. So it gets super strong, a little bit bulkier. This thing, Victory Bell, obviously not super bulky to begin with. It does have like an 80 base HP, which is okay. It's very mid. I think Poison, again, good typing going into Xerneas. It's C tier. I think Venusaur is just better, and I don't think that this thing is really going to do too much. But cool design. Neat to see it. Would like it to be better, but I don't think it is. So moving on, we have Mega Slowbro. You know, I am a huge fan of Mega Slowbro. I think this thing is an A tier mon. Even just like max HP, max defense, just to eat earthquakes from Garchomp and then respond with like an Ice Beam or a Surf. It's so good. The coverage this thing gets, it's a lot like Mega Clefable. The coverage is tantamount. Like in this game, since you only have 3 mons, so you need all the coverage that you can get on 3 mons. And I think teching mons like Mega Clefable, Mega Slowbro, it's so good to be able to come in, and even if you're not hitting for super effective, you hit those plus moves, you hit that Mega Evolution and get the free plus moves. Does so much damage, and they're so bulky that they can trade 1-for-1 essentially. So I think Mega Slowbro is definitely an A tier mon. Mega Gengar, I'm gonna be honest, that's a D tier mon. I wish it was better. I really do. Ghost typing isn't great, especially with Yveltal, Poison typing is good into Xerneas, but I just don't like it. Another mon I wish was better. Mega Kangaskhan. I'm gonna, you know what? It's honestly a D tier mon, but I'm gonna put it in a C tier because I got absolutely bodied by one of these the other day. Like, Mega Kang Giga Impact does so much damage. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's just a nuke. It's very hard to use. There's not a lot of fighting mons running around, but again, the loss of abilities kind of neuters a lot of these megas, and Mega Kangaskhan definitely gets neutered by its loss of Parental Bond. Still a good mon. Obviously, you're not taking like super effective damage from a lot of things unless, you know, you have a Lucario or something. But it just doesn't quite cut it. It doesn't quite have the bulk or the offensive pressure that it used to. So we have Mega Starmie. This mon is so weird to me. Not design-wise. I mean, design-wise a little bit, but like its stat distribution. It's very hard for me to build one of these. I tried using it. I didn't think it was great. I'm gonna go throw it in the C tier. I think there's just better special attackers than this, but it does get, it like basically doubles its attack to 140, defense to 105, which is a 20-point increase. It gets 30 points added to its special attack, 20 points added to its special defense, and 5 points to its speed, which doesn't really matter. So this thing becomes a huge threat. Hits really hard, decent bulk, but like it's low HP. It just felt very underwhelming to me, and I think as Season 2 meta develops, as we get further into this game, people get better with EV spreads, you're running more defensive EVs. I think Starmie's going to run into one of those issues where it just kind of leaves everything at like 1 HP and then gets revenge KO'd. My opinion. I didn't think it was great. I tried using it. Just didn't quite cut it. Mega Pinsir, haven't really seen. I don't think it's good. You know, this thing just kind of gets popped by everything. Again, doesn't quite have the offensive pressure. Loses, I think it got Aerolate, right? So loses that. I'll probably try using it at some point, but I don't think it's that great. Mega Gyarados. This thing has been a threat since day one. That's an S tier mon. People run electric coverage just to check this mon. The fact that they can mega and get rid of that 4 times weakness and turn it only into a 2 times. So if you actually put some bulk in as well, this thing can comfortably eat some Thunderbolts. And having like Flying Stab bounce to like have invincibility frames is absolutely ridiculous for this mon. Yeah, Earthquake. You got Waterfall. It's got all the offensive coverage. It's got the ability to get out of the way. This thing's a threat. We all know it's a threat. It's an S tier mon. You gotta check it. If you don't, it's gonna run away. May drop in usage a little bit since it's a little weird to mega evolve into a dark type in front of Xerneas, but even then, it's still good. You know what I mean? It's still an S tier mon. Mega Aerodactyl. I love this thing so much, and I wish it was better. But it's definitely, it's a D tier mon. I want to use Mega Aerodactyl so bad. Speed not being a factor in this game really hurts mons like Mega Aerodactyl that relied on being able to outspeed things. I don't think rock moves have great potential in this meta. Obviously, we're going to see a lot of Zars pick up, so like it's okay. But I think with steel types, Earthquake's not doing a whole lot. It can't really hit any steel types. It's usable. It's okay. You will definitely see me use a Mega Aerodactyl on this channel at some point because it's one of my favorite megas. But I just don't see it being super viable here. Now we have Dragonite. Mega Dragonite's an A tier. Xerneas is definitely going to bump this thing down a lot. When it Mega Evolves, it loses 10 in attack, but it gets 20 defense and a 45 in special attack, along with a 25 boost to special defense and a 20 boost to speed. The special attack boost is absolutely ridiculous. Draco Meteor being like an area of effect move. Dude, this thing just nukes everything. If you get in and there's no resist to Dragon and you just click that Draco Meteor, like, things get deleted. And that's it. It gets E-Speed to pick off, like, low HP mons. It's really good. I think it's an A tier mon. I think if you don't respect this thing, it can definitely run away with games. Obviously, there's a lot of ice tech going around with Glaceon. A lot of things are running Ice Fang. A lot of things are running Ice Punch, Ice Beam. Ice Beam just nukes things from like super far away. It's so good. which makes Dragonite a little bit harder to use. And of course, it doesn't have multi-scale, but I think it's still good in the right position. It can do a lot. Mega Mewtwo's, I don't think are in the game yet. Mega Meganium. I think this is an A tier mod. I think it's a very good bulky screen setter. I think it gives you nice grass coverage into like Gyarados after they Mega. I like just running max HP, max defense screens. That's it. Solar Beam to like just snipe some things. Dazzling Gleam just for coverage, even though I can never seem to hit anything with Dazzling Gleam. Mega Feraligatr, my boy. He's done me so well, but I think he's B tier. This thing just wants to get a Sword Stance off, start clicking buttons. Hit those outrages, hit those liquidations. Ice Fang for coverage. Does a lot of damage. It's like, what, 160 attack, which is absolutely ridiculous. Gets a little bit bulkier with 25 points in defense and 20 points in special defense and 10 points in special attack for some reason. I guess if you want to throw off some surfs. It does get that dragon typing, which gets a little bit dicey with Xerneas around. So maybe you just don't Mega Evolve in front of it. I like just standard Sword Stance hit thing sets. It's picked up so many KOs for me. People sometimes don't expect Outrage. I love Outrage in this game. I think it's so good. Speaking of dragons, Mega Ampharos, S tier mon. I think this is your best screen setter. People want to lead Garchomp. Obviously, it's a problem. But I think Ampharos is such a bulky mon. You just do like HP defense, HP, you know, maybe a little bit of Spadef just so you live like a Moonblast from Zern in case you're Mega Evolved. But like being able to Thunderbolt Gyarados, be able to set those screens. Mega Ampharos, I think, is just probably the best screen setter. I haven't seen a better one. If there is one, let me know in the comments. This thing's everywhere on ladder. You've seen it. It's a nuisance. Charge is a nuisance. Ground types obviously give it a problem, but that's why you would pair it with something that just nukes ground type. A good like water type. I mean, obviously Mega Gyarados, Mega Ampharos. There's your pair right there. Like you get those and you throw a Xerneas. There you go. There's rank A. Hello. All right, moving on. Mega Steelix. I want this mon to be good, but I just don't think it is. I think it gets rocked by EQ too hard. So we're going C tier with that. I do think it's a good check to Zern, but you're not going to get away with it. I think that's what it is. Mega Scizor is D tier, unfortunately. I love Scizor so much. I have it in a draft league right now in the SPL. Scizor is cracked, but like Bullet Punch, like priority and Technician being gone, it kind of really neuters Scizor. I think it's still good. I think it can put in some work versus Zern, but that being said, a lot of fire types. A lot of fire types, a lot of Charizards, and Scizor just kind of, you know, dies. Mega Heracross, the MVP for so many people in Season 1. I think it's just a C tier. I think Zard usage is picking up, which means this thing gets a lot harder to use. Obviously, you can tech Rock Slide, Rock Tomb, that kind of stuff. But I think this thing just gets popped way too hard by Zern. I think it gets popped. It's just hard to use. You don't have great coverage into, like, Steel types. I mean, you have close combat, but, like, your most used Steel type is still Metagross. So I think this thing just drops down to C tier. Mega Skarm, S tier. Hands down. Haven't used it. Want to use it. Haven't caught one yet. This thing is an absolute nuisance. Getting, like, Drill Run to pop Steel types, you get Sword Stance, right? I don't know if you know, but Mega Skarm, when it Mega Evolves, it gets a 60-point boost to attack. Those Brave Birds be cooking. It gets a 30 points boost to special defense and a, what is that, 40 boost to speed, which is absolutely ridiculous. It does lose 30 points in defense, but I don't think that really matters. When your defense is at 140, you lose 30 points, you go to 110. Like, this thing still eats everything. It's now, like, less susceptible to Thunderbolts because it gets a 30-point boost in Spadef. You get this thing behind some screens, get a Sword Stance up. It's Nuke City. I think this is one of the best mons in the game right now, especially as it's like a Zern check. That Spadef boost helps it against Charizards and other fire types. Skarm may be the best mon in the game, but we'll see if that holds up. Mega Houndoom. I want this thing to be good so bad, but it's just kind of not. It gets popped by Zern, I think. It's Andy Q. Yeah, no, this is D tier. There's way too much coverage for this mon. Everything's running water, ground, and well, not steel types, but fairy types. So I'll try using it at some point, but I do think that is a D tier mon. Very hard to build around, very hard to use, but Fire Blast probably, cooks some things. So we'll try and use it. We got Mega T-Tar up next. I wish this thing was better too. I think it's D tier. Xerneas is going to make it super hard to use. You may make a case for C just because it does like hard check Charizard. So we'll leave it at C because like obviously this thing is still cracked. So we don't have the Hoenn starters. We have Mega Gardevoir, which I think that's dropping down to a B tier. I'm gonna be honest. I think everyone's Tekken Steel because Xerneas, obviously. I think Xerneas is just a better Mega Gardevoir. But yeah, I think it's a B tier. It's usable, it's good, but it's not any higher than that. Mega Sableye. I love Mega Sableye. It's just got the big gym. But unfortunately, weak to Fairy. Unfortunately, it doesn't really do too much. If you're running a mono ghost tournament, Mega Sableye is your guy. It's the absolute best. But outside of that, I don't think it's doing too much. Mega Mawile, I think on paper looks cracked into this meta. But it just kind of gets popped by ground types. It gets popped by fire types. It gives Zern problems. It can maybe give Yveltal problems, but Yveltal also gets access to Heat Wave. So, like, you can just, burn it. Mega Aggron, I think, is actually like a solid B tier mon. I think Mega Aggron will pick up in usage. I'm excited to use this into a Xerneas meta. But again, the problem with these steel types is that they do get popped by like Garchomp Earthquakes, and you can't really do too much in return. But I do think Mega Aggron has a super high bulk. So like, it's usable. You just don't want to have it out in front of Garchomps. I think Skarmory's the better steel type, but I do see usage for that. Mega Medicham, I'm going to be honest, forgot that was in the game. That gets popped by everything. Yveltal, Zard, probably Xerneas as well. I don't think there's any reason to use Mega Medicham. Mega Manectric's good. I'm going to be honest, Mega Manectric is a solid B tier mon. Any electric mon I think does have usage because again, Gyarados is ridiculously high. Mega Manectric also has really good coverage. I believe it still gets Overheat, but to pop those steel types. But any electric type, super fast, super strong. They're just good. They're good mons. Mega Camerupt. Is Mega Sharpedo in the game? Yes, right? I think there's better water types. I think that's why I haven't seen it. And I think it just doesn't really have any bulk. Mega Camerupt. We're going to put it in the C tier just because it has access to like Earthquake. Fire type's also good. Haven't seen a lot of it. Seen a few of them. You can run them super bulky and just kind of be annoying. Maybe you could do some kind of weird hazard spam stuff, which could be cool, but I don't think it has much usage. Mega Altaria, I think same thing. I think C tier. I think it's got some very niche uses, especially into a dragon heavy meta with Garchomps running around, because obviously you get a Dragon Fairy, so it can't actually be hit by dragon types. But I don't think this has the offensive power for this game, because this game is very much built around offense. Mega Banette, same thing as Sableye realistically, and with the Yveltal running around, this gets a lot harder to use, but does have potential. You can burn things like Will-O-Wisp, Mega Absol looks so good on paper, to be honest. It's a solid B tier mon. Actually, we're going to go C tier just because we are in a Xerneas meta, so that thing is going to be very hard to use. But if you get it in the right position with like a Swords Dance, maybe like a Focus Energy, it can start picking up KOs. But again, you definitely want screens. You definitely want to not be out versus Xerneas. Mega Salamence. I wish this thing was better. I really do. I tried using it. It's so hard. It doesn't have any setup, which really makes it like, just why aren't you using Garchomp? You know what I mean? Mega Metagross. S tier. You see this thing everywhere. It is so bulky. It lives Earthquakes. It lives Dark Pulses. It gets screens. I still think Mega Ampharos might be a better screen setter, but that being said, Mega Metagross does give you really nice steel coverage into Xerneas, so it's probably the better screen setter. You can run like super bulky HP defense sets to really mitigate those Earthquakes. You might, does it get Stone Edge? I don't know. You got to have something to check Zard, so like Thunder Punch. I've seen a lot. All right, then we have Mega Garchomp, which I do think is A tier. I don't think it's S tier. I think it's really good. Obviously, Earthquake goes burr. But Xerneas just kind of knocks this thing down just a peg. Obviously, you need screens. It has enough bulk to live in Moonblast, to be honest. But I really think you want a little bit of setup with this thing. Screens, Swords Dance, go to town. It's still one of the best meta picks in Season 2, but I do think Xerneas being the #1 pick for the meta, I think knocks it down just a peg. It's also very hard to use this into like things like Skarmory. So I think it's an A tier. It's obviously still ridiculously cracked. Mega Lucario. I'm actually, same thing as Garchomp. This thing's A tier. I get dumpstered by so many Mega Lucarios. It's got decent coverage into Steel types. Obviously, things like Metagross and Skarmory still give it problems because they're neutral with their Flying and Psychic into fighting types. But like this thing dumpsters Excadrills. This thing can dumpster Xerneas. It's just good. Mega Abomasnow. It's bad. I tried using this thing. It doesn't work. I tried like Blizzard, Earth Power, Giga Drain looks so good on paper. But again, Steel types, cook it. Fire types, it's burnt to a crisp. It's basically a marshmallow. Mega Gallade. I think regular Gallade is probably better. Mega Gallade is decent. I do like Gallade as like a screen setter that can also pressure damage without having to swap. Mega Frostlass. Haven't seen it. Definitely going to use it. But I think Steel coverage again, this thing kind of gets popped. Ghost doesn't hit a whole lot. Mega Emboar, I think is a solid B tier mon. Again, anything with those 120 base power, like Flare Blitz, Close Combat, Head Smash moves, it's just good. You get a bulk up off. If they don't have the right mons out, this thing can just start picking up KOs left and right. Because I believe that Mega Emboar Mega Emboar gets a big boost to attack. It gets even bulkier and a little bit faster. Gets a nice like 25 point boost to attack up to 148. It's strong. It's good. Use it if you want. Mega Excadrill definitely gets knocked down to B tier. It's good into Zern, but the problem is Garchomp is everywhere. Lucario is everywhere. This thing does just get earthquaked and dies. I think screens is definitely necessary if you want to use Mega Excadrill. But like Garchomp is slightly better. Mega Audino. I haven't seen it. Don't really know what it does. I believe you might be able to get some screens. You might be able to get like some wish support stuff. It's like okay. Mega Scolipede I wish was better, but it's just not. It's got a super big boost to defense, which is really good. It's like defense jumps up to like 149, which is a 60 point boost, and it gets 40 more attack points, which is absolutely ridiculous. But it just doesn't do enough. I wish it did, but maybe I'm just using it wrong. Mega Scrafty. I haven't seen it happen. Used it. Obviously, fighting coverage into like Metagross is good. Obviously, dark coverage into Metagross is good. This thing just get popped by Xerneas. Definitely usable, but very hard. You have to be very careful with it. Mega Electros gets a 30 point attack to boost and a 30 point attack boost, or special attack boost. I think this thing is very usable. Again, any electric type, I think automatically it's kind of B tier. Obviously, losing Levitate really hurts this mon. It's susceptible to Earthquake spam, but the coverage that this thing gets is absolutely unreal. So I think this is a very neat, like Assault Vested mon that can put in some work. Mega Chandelier is a definite C tier mon. That special attack is off the charts. A 175. If you get this thing positioned right, you can just start picking up KOs, Heat Wave, Shadow Balls, all good. It's decent into Xerneas. We'll see. Mega Chestnut. We're going to put it in the F tier for now because it's not usable right now. I don't think it'd be great because, again, Xerneas. But, like, its defense hitting 172 and special defense hitting 115 with, like, a 30 point to attack boost as well. This thing is going to be an absolutely monster when it hits ranked. It's going to be so good. Mega Delphox. This thing's special attack jumps to 160. I think it's usable. I think it's a good fire type. I don't think it's good as Zard. I'm definitely going to use this thing very soon. It's got a decently high SpDef too. It gets up to 125. I'd like to see this thing put in some work. But again, Yveltal can make this thing very dicey to use when we start seeing some more. Mega Greninja, I think, really drops down. I think this is very much a Dragon Steel Fairy type of meta, and I don't think that a Greninja is going to have the bulk to live these things. I think this is going to be a very bulk-heavy meta, and Greninja just doesn't have quite the damage output. Mega Pyroar, definitely D tier. I haven't seen this thing. I don't think it's really good. It just kind of gets earthquaked into oblivion. Mega Floette. So in case you didn't know, Mega Floette, once I find my notes, is over here. Eternal Floette. Excuse me. It gets a 30-point boost to special attack and a 20-point boost to special defense, so it makes it kind of bulky. This is decent into Xerneas. I'm going to put it in the C tier. I think it's usable, but it just gets cooked by any kind of defensive or physical attackers. Its defense is just not great. It can obviously nuke things, but like I think it just uses Xerneas in my opinion. Mega Malamar, I haven't seen. I don't think it's good. Maybe there's a niche use for it that I haven't seen yet, but it just kind of gets cooked by everything. Because I think it only gets, what does it get? A boost to SpDef all the way up to 120, so like a nice 45-point boost to SpDef. And its special attack only gets up to 98 with the attack only getting to 102. So it just doesn't hit hard enough. It doesn't have contrary. It doesn't get those boosts. Garchomp just cooks this thing. Which brings us to Mega Barbaracle, which does change its typing from Rock Water to Rock Fighting. Excuse me. And it gets a very nice 35-point boost to attack, a nice 15-point boost to defense, a nice 20-point boost to special defense. This thing is definitely usable. Again, the fighting type change definitely hurts it into Xerneas, and you know, of course, gets cooked by EQ from Garchomp, close combats from Lucario. Its typing is unfortunate, but again, you get this thing in and start clicking like Liquidation or like Rock Slice and Stone Edges into Charizards, it could do some work. Mega Dragalge. This thing is a defensive powerhouse, and I really love Dragalge. I really wish this mon was just a little bit better, but I'm definitely going to use it. It gets a nice defense boost of 15 and a 40-point boost to SpDef. So this thing can just eat Moonblasts from Xerneas and respond to Sludge Bombs, which is very nice. Also, its special attack gets all the way up to 132. So this is definitely a mon that I'm looking at using. Obviously, Garchomp just destroys this thing. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Mega Hawlucha. I think this is a B tier mon. I'm going to tell you why it's a B tier mon. It gets cooked by Xerneas, obviously, but you have two other Pokemon, so you just have to build the right team around it. But it gets a nice 25-point boost to defense. It retains its flying typing, so it is an Earthquake switch-in, which is why I think it's a B tier mon. And you get that nice boost all the way up to 137 for attack, which is, what, 35 points? 45 points? Math is hard. Anyways, this thing gets even stronger, even bulkier, and I think like close combats are just going to cook a lot of the competition. Mega Zygarde, obviously not usable. Mega Diancie, actually before we get to Mega Diancie, let's finish off these guys that we've already seen. Mega Phalanx, no. Xerneas cooks it. No Retreat doesn't save it. It has niche uses. We'll probably use one sometime shortly. Mega Drampa, same thing, some niche uses, just doesn't quite cut it in ranked. And then we get into Mega Diancie. Again, these are all D tier mons. Steel Coverage cooks Diancie. Phalanx doesn't have the bulk. Drampa doesn't really have the special attack. Let me see if I can find the stats on these guys right quick. Yeah, Drampa, it gets to 160 special attack, but normal coverage isn't really super great. Dragon coverage is good if you can get it in, but again, Xerneas, like, Xerneas Cooks, Phalanx, Xerneas Cooks, Trampa, Diancie. I'm definitely using Diancie because I think it has a very niche use. It has to have the very specific teammates because obviously you don't want to get cooked by Metagross's, by Garchomp EQs realistically. I think like a good screens Charizard Diancie team might be able to put in some work, so we will definitely try that out on the channel. But guys, if you have stuck around for this long, let me know what you think of the tier list. Where am I wrong? Where am I right? Drop a sub if you enjoy tier list videos and if you want to get more Legend CA content. We have a lot coming down the line you don't want to miss out. So, as always guys, have a great day. Peace.